Brian Kenny here on the set of Friday Night Fights with Bernardo Osuna, and we have questions from you on ESPN.com. Bernardo, let's start with Martin in Houston, Texas. What's your opinion on the Antonio Margarito and Javier Capetillo suspension?
I think the Antonio Margarito suspension was just about right, 1 year. I don't think he really was the man to blame in terms of what was going on with his hand wraps, but they needed to make an example of him. The Javier Capetillo, I thought, was too lenient. If anyone was to be punished for this, it had to be the trainer and the man who does the hand wraps, and that's Javier Capetillo. I think they could have gone a lot longer on Javier Capetillo without any excuses. I think they were lenient on Capetillo and they were heavy on Margarito, but Margarito's was well-deserved at least 1 year. Now, the thing is, I don't think he should fight, because if he disrespects that suspension, then I don't think they should give him back his license in California.
Both guys have to come back after 1 year, and they can try to get their license back. No one's saying it does automatically go back in 1 year, and that's a very good point. He starts fighting a bunch of times in Mexico, they're going to think, you don't take this very seriously. It's a good point. This is from Javier in San Antonio. What have you heard about Margarito lately?
You know what, he was actually at a benefit soccer game for Genaro Chicanito Hernandez, the former lightweight world champion who's battling cancer. And, you know, he played soccer along with some other boxing celebrities and other famous personalities. He was pretty happy about being there. You know, Javier Capetillo actually was one of the organizers for this event. And, you know, he says he's still leaning towards fighting in Tijuana if it happens. But the other thing he's considering is it worthwhile fighting in Tijuana? The other thing that he did there was a joke about the fact, he says, does anybody want to check my cleats and make sure they're not loaded? You know, but making light a little bit of the situation. But he's been seen around Southern California. The fans are with him, but he really needs to think through his next move before he makes it.
All right, good point. There's Jaime in Needville, Texas. Who wins in their prime? All right, you ready? Think about this.
All right.
Julio Cesar Chavez, Manny Pacquiao.
I'm a big Chavez fan, but I'd have to say Manny Pacquiao. I mean, I think the fact that Manny Pacquiao has the speed, the accuracy, really, I think that's what Julio Cesar Chavez had trouble with. If you remember the Meldrick Taylor fight, he was losing that fight up until the 12th round. Pernell Whitaker was also, you know, a guy who really could give anybody trouble. And I think that's where, somewhere in between, you have Manny Pacquiao, a mix of those two guys, where he can be elusive, he can be quick and blinding with his speed, and also had the power. So, me duele, it hurts, but I got to go with Manny Pacquiao.
I can tell it's hurting you even to say it. All right, who will be the next great boxer coming out of Oxnard, California? That question to you.
Well, I've seen a lot of the Oxnard boxing fighters, and right now Victor Vicious Ortiz is the up-and-coming fighter. But let's not forget about a Brandon Bam Bam Rios, another undefeated fighter who's being guided along by former world champion Robert Grandpa Garcia. And his younger brother, Grandpa's younger brother, Mikey Garcia, is really making quite a name for himself, something like 13 knockouts in 16 victories. So always a hotbed. After Robert Garcia came Fernando Vargas. Now Vicious Victor Ortiz seems to be in line, but Brandon Rios and Mikey Garcia really are two fighters that you should keep your eye out on.
All right, Bernardo Osuna, locked in to Oxnard. Who knew? Locked in like that. You can send in your questions to the boxing page at ESPN.com and then click Ask Friday Night Fights Guest, as you see right there. Also, you can set up your phone, your mobile alerts to ESPN.com and boxing. Click on the link below the Friday Night Fights logo. Get all the latest alerts and Dan Rayfield's news and notes, and also when Friday Night Fights is going to be on each week. So keep it here on Friday Night Fights. Bernardo, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure.